All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedules to help us educate our CM member companies on the value that athletes bring to the electronic security industry, and how companies can tap into that talent pool to build stronger, resilient teams. So let's start with some quick introductions. Lauren, if you don't mind going first.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren Schultz. I am the Senior Vice President of Sales here with RAD, Robotic Assistance Devices. Been in the security industry for about 4 years now.
Taylor?
Awesome. My name's Taylor Scala. I'm a field sales engineer at Access Communications. I've been in the security industry for 1 year as an intern and 2.5 years full-time.
Bradley?
All right. Hi, I'm Brad Zartman. I work at Unlimited Technology. I'm currently a senior account manager, but started in the industry as an engineer, and I've been in the industry for about 12 years now.
Thank you. And my name is Shawn Ruddo. I am the Chief Technology Officer for Tech Systems, and I've been in the security industry for 25 years, and I will be your moderator today. To set the stage, I would think that we all agree that in security, every detail matters. Deadlines matter, trust matters, and just like in sports, the difference between winning and losing often comes down to effort, accountability, and execution. Athletes are trained in all three. So with that in mind, let's go around the virtual table and talk about some of the specific traits that athletes can bring to the workplace. So we'll go ahead and get started with Taylor, and you can talk a little bit maybe about discipline and work ethic.
Yeah, thank you, Shawn. So when it comes to discipline and work ethic, being reliable, consistently showing up, and being willing to jump in and help, whether it's in your job description or not, are values I believe that came from being a college athlete. And when it comes to making mistakes, I mean, everyone makes mistakes. I've made them in college, I've made them here. But what matters is how you take accountability and you grow from them, and just being that coachable person, willing to learn, every day. And when it comes to meeting deadlines, I mean, everyone can probably vouch and say the same thing. We had to be organized, and from years of balancing games, practices, academics, all of that. So I think that same planning mindset came into how I manage projects, deadlines, and professional meetings.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, Lauren, how about you? What would you like to share?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the traits that I think is so important that translates directly into security is just being able to handle adversity and staying strong under pressure. You can prep as much as possible for a game or a big meeting, but once you're in that game or that big meeting, a question might pop up that you haven't prepped for, or something might happen in the game that you haven't prepped for. So being able to make those quick decisions with the information that you have at hand is definitely something that I think translates over, and is a super strong asset to have in an employee.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, Bradley, how about you?
I would say teamwork mindset is kind of a big thing that we all have to deal with in the security industry. I think we can all agree on that. Just between engineers, project managers, sales, operations, all of these other groups have to communicate and collaborate toward one goal. And whether that's a project or a system, everything has to come together from all of these groups to make everything work in the end. And athletes, they all kind of grow up learning that teamwork mindset. So it's not something new to them. It's just something that integrates really well into our industry kind of from the beginning.
I agree. I think for me, one of the most valuable traits athletes bring is coachability. They're trained to learn quickly, accept feedback, and apply it immediately, right? They understand the improvement comes from repetition, adjustment, and willingness to be taught, which I think is really important. And not everybody has that same mentality, but athletes come with it, right? And then that coachability also translates into adaptability on the job, whether it's new technology, adjusting to changing priorities, or responding to challenges in the field. Athletes are just comfortable evolving and staying focused under pressure too. So summarize what you guys have all said. So I think that's fantastic. So would you all say that it's fair to say that we're not really retraining athletes, we're just changing their uniform when we bring them to the security industry? Perfect.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about barriers or unintentional benching. What do you think are some of the things that would have made your transition from athletics to the security industry easier? So let's start with Lauren this time.
Sure. Yeah, I think back when I was in school, and one of the things that would have made it a lot easier of a transition would just be more networking opportunities. Especially earlier in college, maybe the first year or two, when you're still kind of figuring out what you like, what you're interested in, what career path you want to pursue, what you want to major in. It would have been really helpful to have additional networking opportunities where I could speak to alumni in the industry, and they could share their personal experiences. They could help mentor and really be a support system that I could bounce questions off of, and just use them moving forward as I kind of navigate through which major I'm going to go through, which career path, and how I get there as well. So that would have been really, really nice to have.
Perfect. How about you, Bradley? What would have made it easier for you?
Yeah, I mean, I was fortunate. I was able to find an internship very easily when I was in college, but not everybody is. And I think the big key there is not a lot of companies in the security industry are reaching out to these universities and getting involved with the academic advisors or the athletic programs in general, just to kind of let them know, hey, we have internship opportunities, and getting in front of these athletes and just students in general, to let them know that this is even an option for a career path, because most of us, I'm sure, did not plan on going into the security industry from the beginning. So just knowing that it's even an option is kind of key. And the way to do that is getting in front of people at the academic advisor level who's communicating with these students on a regular level. And then also the athletic departments as well can really communicate that to them. But also college career days are also a great opportunity to get out in front of a lot of college students all at once.
Yeah, that's great feedback. I mean, just looking at, the four of us on the phone, you've got sales, you've got engineering, you've got, technology. So these roles exist in every other industry, right? It's just that people don't know where to look. I, as being a leader, have, had some great experience with internships, and I find, having, flexible internships can be a very powerful tool. Those rigid schedules often exclude them from traditional internship models. So by having flexibility in hours, location, project timelines, you can really remove those barriers and get some top tier talent. And, a lot of times when you have those interns, they become longtime employees, right? Because they're very loyal and dedicated. All right, Taylor, how about you?
Yeah, I think one barrier it also has is having an X amount of years of experience, because when you're coming out of college, you have no experience, right? And even take my job, for example, at Axis, I happened to find an internship, like just happened on Indeed one day. And if I didn't have that, I could tell you my job probably wouldn't have hired someone like me, just because, they require this many years of experience, like integration and all of that. I think jobs should require more of like a team leadership experience value more than a just industry experience required. That would be nice. And for if these job posts can ask things like, tell me about a time you performed under pressure, instead of like just relating anything to just experience, because we can prove what we have handled as student athletes, because we handle a lot, so.
Perfect. Yeah. So what I just heard is it's not that athletes are opting out. We just aren't inviting them in. They don't know how to get to us, right? Okay. So just to summarize from the team here, athletes don't need motivation. They need opportunity. And I think that's an opportunity for us to get some top tier talent. We are about trust, discipline, and readiness, and that is an athlete's native language. So I think this group would like to do a draft day challenge and encourage our SIA member companies to, in the next year, commit to drafting just one athlete, one intern, one hire, one pilot program, but be open to, the non-traditional type internships and programs. And so the final line is, where did all the good candidates go? Because we're all looking for them. And, it's hard to find good talent. Well, they're probably at practice. So take the advice that you've got from the team here, and hopefully we see more athletes in the industry soon. Any closing comments from you all?
Thank you.
No, that was great. Thank you.
Thank you.